Have you ever asked yourself, what language is the Chinese dream written in? Is it in Mandarin, English, or the language of power? Well, before coming here to Hong Kong, I have no idea what the Chinese dream was, other than a political phrase. However, living here has gradually made me realize that the Chinese dream now becomes part of my classroom experiences. Here, I don't just study to finish my degree, I'm also learning something even more important. I learn how dreams translate. A very long time ago, the Chinese dream was once a promise made to a nation. Like President Xi Jinping said, the Chinese dream refers to the national rejuvenation and a better life for the Chinese people. But today, we no longer live inside borders. We're living in a world where a virus from one city can shut down the continent, where carbon from one factory can warm the ocean. So, in other words, we're living in a world that is constantly changing and shaped by problems that may make it almost impossible for one nation to just pursue its dream in isolation. And therefore, I believe that in the global context, the Chinese dream can no longer be only about China becoming strong. It must also be about how China connects with the world and learns the new language called the language of responsibility and dialogue. So, how China is going to achieve this, you may ask? Well, for me, the answer lies in education. In fact, today, China is not just building factories and trade routes, it's also building classrooms, international exchange programs, and research networks. Every year, China sends over 1 million students abroad while hosting nearly 500,000 of international students from more than 190 countries. These numbers show that China is using education not just as a tool of development, but also as a form of global engagement and soft power. But numbers alone might not change anything, right? A truly global Chinese dream also requires the openness to listening and to criticism. And such kind of things do not come from anywhere far away, but right from the daily classrooms. Let me take you back to my first lecture here in Hong Kong as an international student. My class welcomed students from mainland China, Hong Kong, Europe, many nationalities. And we were debating on the role of AI in university education, where one Chinese girl came up and said, I believe that AI should completely be banned. And not long after that, another German girl just jumped in and then said, no, I don't agree with you. I think AI remains a critical tool for university students. Well, no one was right or wrong here. What matters is more about the process. We listened, we disagreed, and respected one another at the time. And that was also the moment when I realized that that dialogue is harder than dominance, but it's also more powerful at the same time. And that the Chinese dream now is no longer written by one country. It's actually negotiated through many different voices. And since then, I started to see my future in a different way. As an English studies student, I'm not just learning how to speak English better. I'm also learning to use my language skills to translate values and misunderstandings to better explain China to the world and the world to China. Whether through education or cross-cultural communication, my goal is to stand between different voices, not to design who is right, but to make sure that no one is unheard. Because in a global classroom, misunderstanding can even be more dangerous than disagreement. So now, if you ask me what the Chinese dreams means in the global context, I would just tell you to look at the classroom where students argue politely, disagree intelligently, and learn to see the world through their own borrowed eyes. And that's also the moment when I believe that the Chinese dream speaks the most powerfully in the global context. Thank you.